rolling. We are 6 adventurers from the southwest of England here playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We are on episode 4 of the Star Engine. Thank you for joining us. We will go to our intro.
Yeah.
Hello, boys. Pink lemonade?
Mom! Hello, welcome back. Claero, would you care to bring everybody back to the party's current situation?
Are you talking about the sacred summary?
Yes.
Thank you. At the start of our previous session, 3 of our heroes were in a dire situation. Shackled, surrounded by guards, and walking towards the town of Callus, Claero, Xolen, Thorinir had little chance of escape. Upon reaching Callus, it appeared to be under attack. Many occupants and traders were being carried away by mountain men. Our restrained heroes took this as an opportunity to escape and, with the support of their friends who had been lying in wait, managed to free themselves.
I thought we were in the bushes.
Numerous guards were slain in the melee, and Xolen managed to slay a pair of manacles.
That was after the melee.
Jingo achieved his first strike in combat, cementing him as a true hero. His name will go down in history. Once regrouped, the team met up with Aaron, one of the few survivors from Weirdwit, and decided to travel following the riverbank towards the bluff. This was the same direction as the mountain men had been heading. Having successfully avoided a group of Callus guards who were turning home with their heads held low, they had a decision to make. They could either head towards Fastbrook with Aaron, Melly, and the children in tow for a 20 to 30 mile journey, or break the group, send the children, Aaron and Melly, towards Fastbrook, and take the party towards the mountains with Jingo as their guide. They agreed that time was of the essence, and that they must head towards the mountains before Garrus and the merchants are killed. So they left Aaron to protect the children on the way to Fastbrook. They managed to negotiate a river on the way to the bluff, building an intricate raft of wood and rope, affectionately named
The Demrick. It's Lord Demrick.
SS Demrick
That
the
was it.
Brave.
SS Demrick the Brave.
It's not.
They managed to negotiate the river. Yeah, their success was cut short by an encounter with a large feline creature at the foot of the bluff. Nollis had recollections of this
the only
creature.
thing that was cut short.
Nollis had recollections of this creature and warned the party against it. Although they attempted to skirt round, Jingo and Xolen were too tasty a snack to ignore. Combat ensued, and the creature was slain. We join the party as they continue upwards into the sky and hopefully beyond the clouds. Die rolling.
Clouds.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Hoi! What am I? Oh.
Continuing up the mountain, having followed your rest, this perilous climb that seemed to go on for hours and hours and hours and hours. Your arms aching.
All week, in fact.
A long period of time. Your arms aching, sweat rolling down you, all with your climbing boots digging into the mountain. This sheer orangey red bluff that you're ascending. Getting colder the higher you get up at the ground, getting also far away. You are using your pitons and you're forming a harness of sorts as you're working your way up in tow, all attached to one another, I believe, as you ascend this mountain, which seems to just extend forever. we pick up from you guys. After ascending what feels like at least 1,000 or more feet, as you're entering this dense cloud line.
Okay, so this we've been sort of warned in advance that this cloud line is not natural.
So Jingo is with you, and he during the ascent, if you would have had time for some discussion, albeit
At the rest.
quite breathy and shouting down to one another. Jingo has informed you that this is the clouds that he himself had swam in previously, where he was caught.
I thought this music would be more angelic for our lovely swim through the clouds. Like
Chocolate
cherubs.
factory.
This doesn't feel like... So some of you may feel more comfortable than others with this height, but for those of you that are not, have never ascended anything this high, of which it's true for probably every one of you, this is the highest thing any of you will have climbed. It's quite unnerving. It doesn't feel relaxing necessarily at this height. The ground is... But everyone looks like ants. The buildings down there, and the river is just barely a line that you can make out down below you, and you don't want to look below you either because it's quite uncomfortable. You're about to enter this dense cloud.
This cloud is very dense. Yes, we can't see beyond it. We can't see into it.
As you get closer to it, so as you're further away from it, it just seems white. So you're looking at this ring of white cloud which totally envelops around the edges of this large bluff. As you get a little bit closer, you can start to just see 10, 15 feet into it. It's like a it's like a mist or a fog as you're entering it. So you've got about 15 feet of vision as you're entering this cloud.
Are we in it now? Or
You're just on the cusp of, you're about to poke your head into it.
Jingo, how did you traverse this before?
Or you just kind of, you start climbing, and then when you go kind of all light, and you can't breathe, at that point you can just let go.
No.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
How do you...
So your people, they cannot breathe in the cloud.
No.
Hang on, you're telling me this is so... when we get into this cloud, it's going to act more like water?
Well, I suppose you could say that. Yeah. It's it's kind of a bit like that. You swim.
And
how-
perhaps I should go on ahead for a little while and scout how far we are from the top.
That might not be a bad idea.
I could maybe throw a rope down and pull you up.
Yeah, sounds like...
Float a rope down. I don't know how it's going to work. It might float back up then.
I would tie a weight onto the end of it.
Xolen?
Tad Jingo.
I imagine myself already at the bottom of just hanging, like already knackered, just like being supported by four people. Yeah.
Being carried up.
Yes, that sounds like a very good idea. Go on ahead, but yeah, I would tie a stone or something to the end of the rock end of the rope, in case it just bolts there. I have
find
no
out.
idea what to expect.
Nonus is going to head on up into the cloud expanse.
We'll
So
wait for till we hear back from him or something.
Still climbing at the moment. So you're climbing into this cloud formation, and it's very, very warm. It doesn't feel like you might think a cloud might. Kind of cold and misty and damp. It's a humid, warm experience. Not burning you, but it's getting very warm here.
Can you breathe?
You, again, just the same as the others, you have this limited vision 15 feet in front of you, and nothing stands out as soon as you get into it, other than the way that your gills
I'm going to ask that.
enact.
Yeah.
You detect
So feeling my little flappies.
a change in how you are breathing.
I'm going to try and shout out. Can I speak, or is it going to be like bubbly?
You can speak.
Yeah, the little man is right. You will not be able to breathe up here.
And what do we hear?
You can hear him.
Okay.
How far? How deep is it? How far up does it go? Deep.
I'm
High.
gonna find out. I'm gonna keep climbing for now, but do I notice that it's like resistant like water?
Yes.
Cool. He's
Yes,
gonna.
So you get that resistance again. But it feels natural to you
Yeah.
because it feels like you're swimming
Yeah.
of sorts, but whilst tethered to this mountain. It's a very, very strange experience.
The weird thing is, I suppose, Nollis, other than that horrible, like, psychically active lake that we encountered, hasn't been underwater for a while, so this is going to feel... so, yeah, he's gonna let go and see if he falls to his death.
Fair.
A little blur
Can
comes
you do
past
any kind of treading?
Yeah.
So the second...
I trust this ominous cloud.
Sure. The second...
We just see out the clouds.
Okay, catching hands.
Make hand.
So the moment you let go, can you please
Suddenly the
give
rope
me
goes slack.
an intelligence save?
Oh, jeepers. This is not going to go well. Not a bright button as Nollis. That's an 11. That's not too bad.
Vision, you've dropped back and feel like you're falling into this cloud, and then your mind gets taken to another space. You disengage with everything that's around you.
Okay.
Say that again! I dare you, you say to the ugliest of the three thugs. Thank you for the follow! Thank you very much! Thank you! Welcome to stream! I start that again. Say that again! I dare
Don't
you.
interrupt us again.
Yeah, please do. You say to the ugliest of the three thugs, stood between you and the other end of the tunnel, tucking your younger sister behind you. Or what? The other two draw makeshift shanks from their waistbands. The ugly man smiles. You two girls, sure you want to do this? You smile back and nod. He lunges towards you. You feel the familiar surge of electrical energy course through your veins as you crack the man off his feet with a rapturous blast. He tries to get up, but you knock him back down with ease. He looks at you with trepidation, like so many before him. These men are no match for you. You are untouchable. Another strike of lightning fires into the man's chest. Stop! What are you? He lies, begging for mercy on the cold stone floor, blood dripping from his mouth. His head turns to the side. Just as you're about to deliver the fatal blow, as a smile slowly curls around his lips. You follow his gaze. Your heart sinks. You see the other two men running away from the collapsed body of your sister. A single stab wound to the chest. Electricity pulses through your fingers as you let out a scream, instantly decimating your three assailants. You run to her. Celeste. She chokes her final words to you. Words that torture you forever. It wasn't your fault. You return swimming into this cloud, thinking you're falling and waking up and feeling like you're sinking.
I was just looking at that, yeah.
Artwork.
You are floating, confused as you return to the world, but floating on your back in this cloud, just as if you were underwater.
That was heavier than I wanted.
Do I recognise that as a memory? Or is it a vision?
Give me a religion check.
It's not a very religious cleric. That's a powerful one after modification.
It was so surprising to you, just entirely caught you off guard.
He's going to try and refocus himself, I think, and he's going to wordlessly kind of try and swim up to the top of the bluff.
So you start to swim a little way, the rest of you are just waiting, just underneath.
Have we heard anything? Did he call out or?
Didn't. Nothing more than when he spoke to you just a few moments ago. This all took place in a short moment for you. So you start to swim up just a little way, and you notice that you're perhaps not alone in this cloud. You notice a small creature just floats in front of you.
Not again.
It's small, thin, dark brown. Looks kind of like a crustacean. It's got 2 jagged, pointed claws. And as it moves, it kind of tuck these claws into themselves, kind of spin. So to move, they're spinning. And almost like a torpedo revolving around itself. Not very quickly, just kind of floating around you.
I'm gonna talk to one of them.
Hit. What's its intelligence got to be?
Doesn't.
It's just anything small.
Yeah, as long as it's got inbuilt swim speed.
Yeah.
Using gestures and sounds, you can communicate simple ideas with small or smaller beasts that have an inborn swimming speed.
Fine.
As long as it can swim, I can talk to it.
Yeah.
Or as long as it has a swimming speed.
Are we at the
What do you
technical
like?
level to get subtitles on these conversations?
That's the gesture of friend to the sea people.
Okay.
Good to know.
You're making
I am-
this up.
I understand.
Do you speak the common tongue?
It's talking to you.
I was speaking in the bubble. Oh, you're not doing the bubbles.
Well, I
Jack.
did do that. I mean, we can have this conversation entirely in bubble if you like. I don't know if I'll be able to communicate to the player.
Do you guys hear something?
Get your crossbow out.
This creature understands you.
Cool. He's going to communicate that. How far is it up to the flat place?
Many of you.
We are. Norris is struggling to remember whether he knows numbers, which he does. We are 5. 5 is too small.
Yes.
Deep thing.
He's going to say thank you.
It just spins away.
And he's going to keep swimming up
Mhm.
to try and see how far it is to get to the top of when the bluff levels are.
Sure.
Can you see it from where he is? So we're going at 15 feet vision, right?
No, it certainly goes on for at least 15 feet. As you start to swim a little way up, you are all just waiting underneath. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're waiting? I mean, this is all taking place in 30 seconds, no more than that, so you haven't been waiting that long.
Oh, no.
I want to ask Jingo how you breathe in this.
Well,
How did you breathe in there?
You don't. You hold your breath.
How long for?
Well, until, I guess, the men take you. Or you come back out. I never got to the top.
Never got to the top.
1,000 foot off the ground. And he
Yeah.
starts to say this.
That's the sort of information that would have been really useful 1,000 feet ago.
Oh, well, I'm sure there is a top.
We're hanging from this rope on the side of this cliff. Oh, Jingo, you know you're a real piece. You know that?
After a little bit more swimming.
Malcolm mimes cutting a knife.
You haven't travelled far up, maybe 20 feet, 30 feet, and you see a different creature. You see a small, pale brown shelled creature this time, very similar in many ways, but with subtle differences. This one has got 2 small, smoother claws, so different to the 2 larger claws on the other creature.
Female.
And they've got kind of
Hello.
prominent, dark mouth parts that kind of
That's
almost
so
like
nice.
mini tendrils or something that are coming out of the mouth. They too. So these, rather than tucking their claws, these tuck their legs into their carapace as they kind of spin again towards you. They just look different in the way they move, but clearly very similar creatures. And this one also comes over to you.
How far to the flat place?
Not too far.
The
As the mollusk swims.
legged creatures are dangerous.
Yes.
Do many come down?
Sometimes.
We are 5. Don't eat 5.
Okay.
Good luck.
It spins off
Should try that spin move.
somewhere into the ground.
Norris is gonna keep swimming. Keep swimming up
Yeah.
to the bluff.
So you go another 20, 30, 40 feet further up, unimpeded. You get a little bit higher, and this much larger creature appears
Dear.
just 15 foot into the distance. You can just see it fading in and just getting close enough. It looks like it's wary, and it's just keeping its distance to you and just having a look at you. As you look at this creature's face, looks humanoid.
Cloud
It's
whale.
got kind of, it's tricky to see because of all the mist. You can't make out colour too well in here, but you're seeing kind of a desaturated face, but otherwise humanoid. The one thing that stands out to you is it's got this long black fronds of hair that hang down. There's almost like a bowl in the middle. It's hollow. Looks like kind of a hole into its skull or its brain or something. Other than that, you can't make out the rest of its body because it's just kind of got its face there. You can see it, a hand as it's swimming in the sky, and the hand looks webbed.
Cool.
It's a manatee.
Get it. So Norris is aware of it. He's probably gonna. I can't actually speak to any creature than small or smaller in the sea language.
Bigger than small.
Yeah, bigger than small. He's going to instinctively speak the Sea Elven language, which is probably a mistake, but it'll be his first instinct, and just say, we are 5, we go up to the bluff to talk with the cliff people. We don't mean harm.
Where are you from?
Is that in common or
In
in
the
Elven?
equivalent of Aquan,
Aquan. Yeah.
which is what we're using as Sea Elvish.
Sorry, where? He's going to say. Just using a bit of hand
Sure. It's
into the water.
I've spoken to anyone in this language for a long time.
It is good to use it again with somebody who speaks a lot. It is nice.
How are you here? Without the man?
Without the men. The men are the people from the bluff.
Yes.
We are. We have come. They have taken some people, and we have come to make sure that they are okay.
Well, man, take us everywhere.
I did not hear your dialect is stronger than.
Just comes a
my
little
people's.
bit closer to you.
Vampires.
You can see his, you see his same species. He comes a little bit closer. I'm trying to bubble. And then he comes a little bit closer, and you can see his left hand as well. He's got this big webbed hand. The first time you see, he's got this large, what looks like shell on the back of his body. It goes right from his neck, kind of, to his where his buttocks are, and he's got 2 humanoid legs, which also are webbed, and he's kind of swimming in place quite seamlessly. And he's clearly not struggling for breath under the water here as well, like yourself. Where are you taken from?
Where are the people taken from?
Yeah.
They are taken from the human village, which is below us, down on the surface.
Do you know the way back to the sea?
I do know the way back to the sea. At least I think I do.
Can we go to the sea?
I can take you there eventually.
Thank you. When do we go?
Well, right now I have some land people to save, and then my diary is pretty free. So after that, we can find a good time. I have already recruited a small army of tiny fish, and you would be a welcome addition to my entourage when I go back to fight the lord of my people. Are you a competent warrior?
I'd not like to fight.
Perhaps I could ride you as a sea beast.
I have not been ridden.
Do you have any special skills, or perhaps something that would aid me in my quest?
I speak with fish.
You speak with fish. That can be very useful. This can be useful. Are there other creatures in the cloud, and they have been taken, you say, from the sea?
It's really right up next to you now. It's kind of floated over to you because you think it might be gaining trust for you. We took the creatures from our home and brought us together.
The people from the bluff took you from your home? The people up here?
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting. Did you know how? They put you in a net, or they put you in a net and they take you here? Do you know why?
Oh,
No. This is interesting. If I can find a way to save you and the rest of these people who are trapped in this cloud, I will.
thank you.
Are there many of you in here?
No.
No. If it came to a fight with the people on the bluff, could you rally a small army of sea creatures?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Would you be ready for my call if I call you? I will call in our language and you will understand that it's me.
Yes.
I will await your help, friend.
Don't worry, right?
I have no choice. I have to go and make sure these bluff people will let us free. If I had my choice, I would stay here because I much prefer to swim.
Make a persuasion roll.
Oh, jeepers, he's gonna eat me. And then he became fish food for the sea turtle man. I got so distracted then. Persuasion. Bam!
You get +1 with the galosh. Don't forget
Plus
about
one
that.
with galoshes. That's a 15.
Swimming galosh.
Your home trousers are so lovely.
Come back to me.
I will.
Right up next to you.
Of all the gigantic shelled sea creatures, you are possibly my favorite.
It's just there next to you.
He loves you.
Would the coming battle be easier if I armed you? Would you like a weapon?
I don't use weapon.
Okay. I just thought I would ask.
You notice that there's about 4 of these other creatures, 2 of the darker and 2 of the lighter creatures that are just kind of
All
hovering
the
in the
little
area
spinny
as well.
creatures.
Spinny.
I will make sure that we will fight and we will gain our victory, and then we will be free to go and rejoin the sea.
Looking at you, he's not really showing emotion, he's just there, floating in the water.
What can I call you when I call your name?
Name?
Name.
Kappa.
Kappa. Kappa the Turtle Man, it is. I will make a little note of that in my paper, which I cannot do because I cannot read. But I will.
It's soggy, wet cloud paper.
Yeah. I will call for you, Kappa, and then we will gain our freedom together as brothers. And then Norris is gonna keep swimming up towards the bluff.
Okay. So you,
We're now Princess
Carry on,
Leia to the undersea Ewoks.
they're
I love
all
it.
Kappa and these other creatures are just kind of shadowing you. You know, 20, maybe 10 feet behind you, just keeping you within their sight. Not aggressively, but just near you.
Here's a Petra Baileys.
Is it supposed to get the Baileys not getting wet?
And
What about the boat tank?
they stay close to you, you carry on swimming. You estimate you are in the region of 150 feet before they're following you the whole way. Before at last you emerge again at the top. As you emerge at the top, you're greeted by this cold air, but you still get the heat that's emanating from this cloud. You dazzled by this sunlight coming out of that mist.
Okay.
You can see this bluff taper off a little bit, become less steep, and there seems to be a summit of sorts, another few hundred feet above.
But I'm like out of the. It's like air now, I guess. Gills closed. He's gonna try and climb out onto the side of the bluff. How steep is steep? Is it like?
It's very steep still.
Yeah,
So you're still climbing.
Still climbing.
It's just not 180 degrees.
Cool. He's gonna climb onto the wall, and then use his anchor point from his climbing kit. This could all go horribly wrong. Uses anchor point from the climber's kit, and he's going to tie off his rope with a. First, he's going to do that and throw it back into the cloud and see if it floats on top of it, or see if it drops straight through.
See if the rope floats
Yeah.
or drops.
So he's going to throw a rope down to these guys.
Yeah.
But does it just float across
So
the top?
as you drop it, it falls slowly.
Okay, he's going to reel it back in, and then he's going to tie a thing to it, which he has somewhere.
That anvil that you carried up the
Yeah,
mountain.
that anvil that I have. He's going to tie a hunting trap to the end, not non-activated.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get
Was that coming
Kappa.
through
Kappa's head.
Fishing. Now he's going to tie a hunting trap to the end, deactivate it just for the weight on the end, and then he's going to throw it in.
Okay.
The only other thing under a short sword. No, throw it again. Straight out the other end.
So you tie that into the off on the rope.
Yeah,
and
it's
it
like
has
a
enough
weight.
mass now
To drag it
to
down.
kind of drop. What size rope have you got?
All I know is I've got a hempen rope. I don't know. I think that's the shorter variant, isn't it?
Generally 50.
50
I
feet.
believe.
I
think. 50 feet,
Yeah.
yeah.
The default is
Still gonna
50.
make it all the way.
So it drops the full slack.
Cool. You're gonna wait slightly to see if anyone
Yeah.
will attack the other. He doesn't really know distance, so
Sure. Probably a couple of minutes have passed underneath the cloud now, and there's no sign of Nollis at the moment.
Xolen, is there anything in your gear that would allow us to breathe underwater?
small.
No, there could have been, but unfortunately there isn't. I've made alternative choices. So no.
Life choices or?
Yes, being right here.
Okay. He's been up there a while.
You can just swim.
Jingo, you've not swam the whole way.
Well, no, I've not. But
Does running speed translate to a swim speed? If you've got a faster movement, does that give you a little bit more in water?
this is half.
It is half.
Apart from me.
Apart from you.
Apart from people with inbuilt swimming speeds,
Is it?
Yeah.
such as
So
your friend.
could we send Malcolm, who is the most athletic? He might be able to get the furthest
I'm the fastest, I suppose, yeah.
to investigate. If I go, I'm never coming back. I cover 12 feet. Could be round down, I believe. I'll be going nowhere.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll climb up as far as I can climb. I'll tell you, I'll hand Claero my rope, the end of my rope. I'll take the other end, and I'll climb up as far as I can climb, and then swim for it.
Turn around if you feel like you've gone too far and you can't make it. Come back.
Okay.
Yeah, Malcolm, I'm not doing
Yeah.
too well with these heights.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
You're not the only one. I'm desperately unhappy about this whole situation. Right. Okay. I'll start up, climbing up. How far do I get before
So you
I
are
start struggling to breathe?
So using your rope as a climbing kit. or-
I'm climbing. This is. I'm spooling my rope out behind me, so I'm trying. Obviously, I'm climbing as carefully as possible.
Sure. Yeah. So you are climbing at a pace, so your distance you can travel at a time is 20 feet up.
Right. Okay.
Before you lose the slack on your climbing kit.
Yeah.
You then you could hook off at the top, which you've been doing with your piton, go down and collect your other piton, and go back up again. So actually, to get 20 feet, you're going 20 feet,
10 feet,
back down 10, back up 10. So everything is super slow as you're travelling like that.
I will give a sort of running commentary, shouting down to my companions as I go.
Okay. So with that in mind,
I've got 50 feet of rope.
Yes.
Actually, I've got a climber's kit. How much rope is there
So
in
the
the
climber's kit is the one that you're hooking on and off that 20 feet.
Right, so I've got my other rope, my hempen rope from my explorer's pack. So that's got 50 feet. So by the time when I get to 50 feet, am I still able to breathe?
We can try.
Having got 50 feet into this cloud.
Yeah. So you travel up for 20.
Down 10.
Down 10. Up 10.
Up 10.
That takes you, in effect, your turn. Because you've got movement of 40.
Yeah.
You can clip on quickly, come back down, clip off, and back up again. I'm happy that's a turn.
Right. Okay.
A turn is 6 seconds.
Well,
You can hold your breath for 1 minute.
So I'm now okay. So I try and take a breath up in the cloud. Can I breathe?
You cannot breathe.
I can't breathe. I'm going to go back down the rope until the point where I can breathe.
Okay. So you come back down, out again, still having breath, and resurface to your friends.
Okay. I impart.
Did you make it?
No.
Oh.
I impart the sort of distance that I've got.
He was gone for about 20 seconds.
Did you see Nollis?
Once you get about 20 feet into the cloud, you can't breathe anymore. So we're either going to have to wait for Nollis to come back, or we're going to have to risk it.
What we do in the Great Lakes of the Wood Elf Woods is we'd have a bucket on our head. And we'd submerge and keep the air, but I don't know how you do that.
I'm not sure.
Going upwards.
I'm not sure that's going to work because it's not water.
Do we have a bucket?
Have you got a
And
bucket?
we haven't got a
We haven't
bucket.
got a bucket.
No, wait. I don't.
We got
no,
a magic
I
bag.
I've got all my stuff in my bag.
Not anymore.
Say goodbye to all this stuff.
How do you reckon, DM, a panther would fare? Climbing up the side of this. Climbing up the
As
side.
cats are notorious for loving water.
Using
aren't
a climbing
they?
And climbing.
No, like the panther's 40 feet of climbing
Free climbing. Yeah, nice.
in the cloud.
Does it have climbing
It's got
climbing
40
speed?
feet of climbing.
Has it?
Yeah. Would that
Yeah.
go down in the cloud or?
Arguably, yeah.
Because
You're not sure.
The
You're not
cats
sure.
like
You're still-
water, don't
You're still only going to be able to climb
You're not
20
sure.
feet up and then 20 feet back down again. You're not
It's
going to get
using
any
the climbing
further
kit
than
then,
me.
if he's a panther.
So I'm just going to go. How many feet was it? We
I've made
don't
it-
know yet.
We don't know.
I made it about 30 feet, I think, before I couldn't go any further because I was having to hold my breath.
It's worth mentioning that you couldn't hold your breath for that period of time. It's based on your constitution modifier.
Ah, right. Okay.
Not to meta, but I just want to make
No,
sure I didn't say you all can only breathe for that period of time.
I could only. I got to that point and I wasn't able to breathe any longer. Anybody else might be able to hold their breath a bit longer than me, but I've got no idea. I couldn't see Nollis. I couldn't see the end of it. I don't know. I have no idea how deep it is, or high it is. I'm still trying to get my head around this.
It's very high up here.
Yeah, I'm talking about the depth of the cloud.
Shall we
Jingo, have you got no idea how we can? How you?
Let's send him up. He's got us in this idea. Let's send him. Free swimming. Not even tying off.
I don't mind. You've
Let-
got to
yeah.
get to Gareth.
Let's send them off.
You've got to be able to get through. The mountain people do it all the time.
They're bigger than us.
They might.
Got to think every kick and
Hang on a minute.
paddles.
The mountain people, they come and go through this. Do they just swim through it, or have they got a path that they take? Is that?
I don't know. I see them climbing up the mountain like, I don't know, like whatever climbs. They really climb.
They're like giants, though, aren't they? The lungs on these people.
You're all like giants to me. Well, not
Yeah.
you, but you're all like giants.
Wait, I always take in a bloody load of air. Surely that helps.
I don't know.
Let me show you. Just about this big.
Oh, that's impressive.
Just gonna blow a ton of leaves at his face.
Oh, he just... You see him drop back off of the mountain. And he just falls. And the rope catches him, and the little halfling just swings off of this anchor point. Oh goodness! And he kind of help me back up.
I could cut. I could cut the rope. Let's vote on it.
I send him up, I reckon.
Yeah.
Send him up first. If Jingo doesn't return,
Well,
Jingo Nollis is up there
if Jingo
somewhere.
doesn't return, we know he's either made it to the top or drowned.
I would assume made it, because if he drowned, I'd assume he's going to fall back and out of the cloud.
Good point. Yeah.
We can send him through.
He might just bob.
All of that, yeah.
We're not going to know.
You're a hero now, Jingo. Head
Go
on
on.
up.
Right, yeah, no problem.
Mhm.
Okay. Off he goes.
Cool.
Blimey.
Give us
If you
the,
start to drown, shout.
All right.
Cool. What do we see as he scurries
Yeah,
on
you
up?
see him for 10, 15 feet, and
Yeah.
his little boots disappear.
He's disappeared. Out in the
What's going
cloud.
I'm afraid,
And
Claero.
you just see him again as he comes back down. He takes his anchor point. Oh, I'm all right. Takes his anchor point up and then carries on up again.
I understand he's incredibly brave crawling through this horrifying mist, but he can't do anything else.
I can sympathise with him. Fighting's scary, Claero. We're not all combatants.
Not when you can set things on fire, so.
Only mildly.
Set the
It's,
cloud on fire.
it's now been quite some
Evaporate
time
it.
since Nollis went up there, hasn't it? We're talking a few minutes
A few
now.
minutes now, yeah.
So-
You're just sat at the top at the moment.
He
Have I
would-
got a bite yet?
Even not yet.
He would have. I'm going to assume now that he would have. If he wasn't waiting for us, if he was just floating around in there, he'd have come down, or we might have seen him plummet by this point.
I think we should wait and see if Jingo falls out of the cloud.
I'm going to leave it another minute.
Yeah.
Leave it up to a halfling's breath.
Yeah.
Can you remember the song? The song from Broga to pass the time?
Songbroker, how did it go?
The Demrick one.
Lord Demrick, I did start writing it down.
That's it, darling, go.
It's going to bring the cloud down.
So as not to meta and give you information that you wouldn't otherwise have, we'll work out whether Ollie gets a bite, so to speak,
Okay.
after you've made decisions.
Okay.
Let's assume.
I'm going to
you
throw
made-
I'm going to look deep into my lungs and
Ouch.
blow out a druid's craft, a harmless puff of air, 5 foot cube. See if it pushes this cloud at all.
Okay. You blow out this puff of air, and it just slightly nudges this mist for a moment, and it reforms almost instantly.
I'm going up.
Can I do this on the move?
You can, yes. Yeah. Once every 6 seconds you can do it, because it's a cantrip, isn't it?
Yep.
So yeah, once every 6 seconds you can create just a little tiny clearance in the mist.
Can I do that for the entire journey?
It's probably, the only thing I would say is it's probably going to hinder your ability to hold your breath. Because you're exhaling as you do so.
You're breathing in your own.
So I'm
nose.
going to get a little bit of the way and then like, nope.
Oh, sorry.
Come back down.
You've run out of there.
I-
Nice idea. But,
Enough of this. I'm going up. So I'm going to start climbing. I take a biggest breath that I can as I reach the threshold, and I'm going in.
okay.
I'm going to climb as fast as I can,
Mhm.
and as soon as I start feeling the floatiness, I'm going to let go and swim.
Okay. So
I'm going for it.
So, having entered the cloud 5-10 feet. As soon as you get there, you already feel that very similar sensation to when you feel underwater. It's this kind of weightlessness on your body, and the pressure from where you're holding onto the rope just almost kind of elapses. You don't feel like it's holding you.
I'm going to try to swim upwards.
Okay, so you're untethering yourself. You're packing in your pitons into your
As
harness.
fast as possible, and I'm going up.
We're staying.
I
here forever.
haven't seen Jingo plummet past me, screaming to his unfortunate doom. So
Yes.
I'm taking a chance on it. I'm going up.
Sure, and you can swim 20 because you can normally move 40, so you can swim 20
For every
and
6 seconds.
every 6 seconds.
So I can
but
hold my
you
breath for.
You can in effect dash swim.
Right. I will. Yeah, I will. I'm going to dash swim as far as I can before. I mean, so 20 feet plus another 20. So that's basically 40 feet every 6 seconds. So hold my breath for about 30 seconds before I start panicking.
Sure. So you are getting. So after 30 seconds, we think you've travelled.
Maybe 120 feet, I guess. Was
Yeah.
I thinking? Yeah.
120 feet.
40
Yeah.
feet every 6 seconds. So yeah, 6 flows.
Oh, I see 30. Yeah,
so
much
that's-
more than that. Yeah.
Maths.
Maths.
Mess.
Yeah, 6
I've seen the
flows.
3.
300
3
feet.
times.
10 feet.
Like a damn motorbike.
So you feel this weightlessness. You feel like you're falling, and then you realise actually you're held in this cloud, like you're underwater. This heat,
Probably
this
more
humidity
250 feet
hitting
because
you.
of time there and realisation and.
You start swimming vertically up as fast as you possibly can. You've never swam this fast in your life. Such a strange experience. Aware of how high you are, you almost get this dizzying vertigo as you're swimming.
Great, drowning and vertigo.
You
Fantastic.
continue up. You swim past
Best day of my life.
these shelled creatures, the same description that I provided to Nollis.
I'm not stopping to say
spinning
hello.
around. You carry on up like a torpedo, getting further and further. You wonder how far this is going to go on because you think you're approaching your breath limit, starting to worry a little bit. And you see Jingo there beside you, just paddling slower, and you catch him up, paddling slower. And he's coming on up. How much further? And he's swimming up, and you overtake him quite quickly unless you're stopping for him for any reason. After you're just starting to worry, and then just after
Self-preservation has taken over. As much as a hero I'd like to be, no.
Yes. You continue on up to the top, and you suddenly, 15 feet, you get this blast of light. You continue out, and you reach the top, and your head emits from the top of this cloud, and you look about 40 feet to your right, and you can see Nollis kind of sat there waiting, looking down at this room.
Am I wet?
Underneath him. You're not wet.
Not wet. Okay. So I'm gasping for breath.
Yes.
I just sort of shout over to Nollis, Nollis! Jingo!
Malkin, you will scare away the fish.
Jingo!
Trying to fish here.
Jingo!
Stupid halfling will be the death of me. He jumps back into the cloud.
Yeah.
Swan dives off the side of the cloud there. He goes in and looks for Jingo.
Yeah, so give me an investigation roll as you're trying to search for him.
He's
Get my
gone
breath back while
down.
I'm trimming.
He's gone down. It's a 10.
A 10.
He gone down.
After
Oh, he did.
so you're searching around, you're looking, and you get down to a point you're wondering where he is, you're looking all around. Again, you see some of these creatures out the corner of your eyes, just kind of floating, torpedoing around. And you just see Jingo. He's out of breath, entirely out of breath.
He's going to swim over to him, perform a bit of mouth-to-mouth re-airing. I'm going to re-inflate the halfling.
Give me a survival. Give me a survival roll for your effective.
Finally, I can do that. This is where I get nothing for this one. That's a 14.
A 14. Okay, so you managed to do him just. And
Too full.
he's kind of clutching onto you,
Blow it up like a little meat
tight.
balloon.
Yeah, so tightly you can feel him pressing into your muscles. It's quite restrictive. He's hugging you too tightly. But he's still kind of panicking and shaking.
He's going to swim him up.
Okay, so
Swim him all the way up.
you reach the top.
Deposit him. And then he's going to swim straight back down again.
Okay, you see Jingo just arrive at the top. Oh, his breath! It was horrible! Nice, you swim back down. The three of you, we're talking around a minute, slightly over now, has passed.
I'm so bored.
What are we doing? How wide is this
bored.
cloud off the cliff? Is
Very
this?
wide.
Is yeah. Okay. I was going to swim out of it if I got.
Oh, yeah,
if
that's
I
a
was
good
going to
idea.
die, but
Get 30 foot
yeah.
up, swim,
Oh, yeah.
swim perfectly into the thing, and then swim out of the clouds.
oh yeah.
Just hope the gas.
Well,
That's enough.
I was
Yeah,
I was going to preemptively cast Featherfall, so if I didn't make it, I was going to just swim out and just descend 1,000 feet and be like, I'm off home, fuck off. See you later. It's the last you will see. It's the last you will see of Zolen.
Sorry,
He's gone.
when
Like
you went
a
in
leaf
there,
on the breeze.
when you went in there, is there water? Is it wet in the cloud?
It's like a cloud,
Okay.
like a
Is it humid?
a very it's hot. It's hot and humid.
I'm scared.
Hang on,
But I
I've got
think, we can make it.
Could we use fire to create pressure and force our way up there?
I am no scientist.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm not
Fire is for warmth.
I'm not going to
cooking
try.
meat.
I don't want to fall into a flaming spear. So
Look, no one's come down in a while.
okay.
I think they're either dead or they've succeeded.
Then we should go.
We should go.
But the problem is the slowest of us is and he gestures towards Zoe.
But he's
Yeah.
got a contingency plan.
We should maybe help him up. Maybe latch him
The
to
two
us.
the two of us just
Well, which of us is the strongest?
may watch him out.
I will shout down, it's swimmable!
Who
I don't know
the
if they
hell
can
said
hear
that?
Can we hear such a thing?
Shouting as loud as I can. I've got my breath back now.
Yeah.
I'm treading cloud.
Give me. You hear a noise that sounds like one of your friends, but that's probably about the limit of it.
One of them's alive or dying.
Was that? It sounded bad.
Climb back down, did he say?
Norris might have heard it, so he's going to say, I'm coming back for one of you. Shouting it.
Okay.
See if any can
Can you
hear
hear
it.
that? I guess he's further down.
As you get a bit closer, you probably can start to make out what he's saying.
His head pops out from under the cloud, bottom of the cloud. Oh!
Ugh, instant attack.
As you're swimming down again, these creatures are very close to you.
Nice.
Friends.
He's
We
going to
might
be
need
talking.
them for-
He's going to say to Kappa, 3 of my friends are still down here. Can you, if they come in, can you carry them to the top? They cannot breathe like us. Sorry? No, we need to go and conquer the people on the bluff so that we can set you free. Can you help me with my friends? You and your friends? Help me and my friends? Because then we all need to get to the top so we can conquer the bluff people so we can set all of you free.
Can't they swim?
No, they cannot. They cannot breathe under the water.
Oh.
Only me. So you have to take them up very quickly.
Oh. They need to refill their balls.
Yes. That sounds exactly what they need.
Refill their wife.
He swims down with you.
Cool. Got this. It's going to be fine.
So after a short while, around there,
Do not swim too far, you will fall.
I was just going to say, you swim all the way out.
a large humanoid webbed green hand emerges from the cloud where you are.
Knowles.
Xolen, it's for you.
Does it look like Nihilus land?
That's for you.
What is it?
It's reaching,
Oh god.
and it's this large humanoid. You can just about see this face.
I'm
that I
not.
described.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, Claero
I'm not
can,
grabbing
This
it.
humanoid
Claero's
face
done
with
it.
this
Done it.
black hair that's hanging down his face, still just emanating from this cloud.
He's got no brain. I'm going to hold on to your leg when you get pulled away. No!
It's either in there or down there. We've got to go.
Yanked
He's
up
holding
into the
on,
cliff.
so I'm grabbing it.
Yeah, and then so he holds it, and then it's slightly slimy, but also the
Yeah.
skin underneath is dry.
Yeah, like a sandpaper. Yeah.
Yes, but it's this sliminess to the outside. It's slightly lubricated, I guess. And it's this.
It's KY jelly on sandpaper.
Oh.
A grip.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
It's Finny. Family show.
Not anymore, matey.
Lord.
And he holds out
Fans of all ages.
this web hand, grabs it, and this you can see these sharp claw-like fingernails. And he rips you up, very, very strong, pulls you into the cloud. You see the shelled creature right in front of you, and it just looks at you.
Take him up, quick!
Yeah.
Go!
And Nollis is talking this other language.
Can we see Nihilus from where we are?
Well, you're hanging off my leg out of the clouds, so.
But Claero, no!
And Panther starts to pull you both up.
Okay.
Oh God.
Swimming quite easily and freely, pulling you up, and these crustacean creatures are swimming, torpedoing around you away quite quickly.
Putting you on me.
And Nollis,
From the ground, I'm gonna put my head to the bottom and say, come on, we must go now. We must
Oh, I
go.
knew he was our saviour.
and
Remember that in about 15 minutes. We're going to do things.
and you're pulling Thorinir up and
Yeah,
helping
as long
him
as you
swim.
will allow me to.
Of
best
course,
as you
of
can.
course.
Yeah.
So the group of you all detach from this wall, and you're all swimming up to the top. It's quite horrifying, very strange. You're holding your breath in this hot cloud, this creature pulling you up, these weird torpedo-like crustaceans all around you. And after what feels like 200 feet, you emerge, gasping for air at the top, and they relinquish you. They never put their head above the water above
God.
the cloud in any way.
Definitely screaming.
Wow.
I made it to the top.
I have to be honest, that was the worst.
That was amazing! I'm going back down.
Well, you've never been to the top.
God.
Jingo,
Yeah.
you need to be very careful the next few hours. Because normally it is me that angers quickly, and you have managed to anger most of us,
Yeah.
I feel. So for the first time, I feel I'm speaking for the party when I say, just
Shut
think
up.
about what you say before you say it. We want this to be a safe space, but at the same time, you are an idiot. I know it's coming from me, so I understand. But you are more of an idiot than me.
Also, if you're thinking of a reply, just don't. Just leave it there, mate. That's fine. Yeah. Let's climb up once Thorinir comes back out.
Don't everybody go.
So you've all emerged again. You're now on the top of this cloud, just swimming in it. It's like a sea in many
Bob.
ways, but it's wispy, warm cloud. You get this wonderful view of the sky around you, but you can't now see the land beneath you because this sea of cloud is so broad. All you can see is this cloud really from underneath you.
Is there a tide?
There's not.
No bob
It's
or-
fairly parallel, this cloud, and then obviously you've got this reddish orange bluff that continues
So
up.
can we, from where we are bobbing in the cloud, can we see the end of the top of the bluff? Is the end now in sight?
So rather than there being a single end, there seems to be perhaps a few different peaks and a few different summits. There's certainly an area which you're more naturally heading to, which appears like it might flatten off at the top, whereas some areas you would just rule out straight away
And
because
it's
they're just peaks.
The cliff face is now not completely sheer. It's very, very steep, but not. I mean,
You're
'cause
talking,
I have
70. You're talking almost vertical inclines.
because I've just remembered we've all left our ropes at the bottom.
No,
Not
we grabbed all of ours.
You grabbed yours, did you?
I had 2 ropes anyway, so
Pack and rope.
I've still got a rope.
So you've still got your climbing kits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then.
Just
fine.
not. You left your rope.
Apparently, I was the only one who left mine.
I left mine down there.
You can have
I'll
this
just-
hunting rope, but it has a hunting trap tied to it.
Always
So make
carry
sure
a
you
spare.
use the right end.
Okay.
I'm ready to get up there and
Let's-
I'd like
let's
hard
get
ground
this
over.
over.
You know, I'm like clutch for you at the top.
I need this guy off me. Let's get out of here, Xolen.
While we're climbing, Nollis is going to do his best to speak under his voice, which is not very good at, and climb particularly closely to Claero and say, Claero, do you are the madman of the company, and you see things and hear things.
Sure.
Did you see a thing when you were going to the cloud?
Nothing. No visions, no images.
I saw a thing, and I don't know whether it's something that happened and I have forgotten, or something that will happen, or perhaps it is just like any of the other crazy stuff we see on this land, but it concerns me a great deal, and you seem to be fairly wise and knowledgeable, and I wondered if you would know.
You're saying this. You're
He's
attempting
trying
to
to
say this
stay
quietly,
quietly,
but-
probably
They're
is
climbing
not very
next to each other.
good. Yeah, we're all climbing together, right? So it's,
Do you mean you
No,
saw
I'm still
something in the
bobbing
clouds?
around.
All of my
Was it like in the water and the river?
I do not know. It was almost like I was almost taken to another place.
all of my visions have been associated with the darkness. Even when I went in the river. Not that darkness. Malcolm, you have a strange music taste. No, all of them have been due to the darkness. I don't think I could discern. I mean, maybe if you described it to me, maybe I would know.
I witnessed somebody I care about very much dying.
And do you know them to be dead already?
I thought they were alive, but now I do not know. I do not know what I know anymore. I came to this land and I was unconscious for a great deal of time. What if I have lost some of the memories that I once had?
Okay.
Or maybe there's a vision of what is yet to come, and part of my journey here is in vain.
Cool. He's going to put his only free hand on your shoulder.
Thank you very much, Arcane D&D.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much.
Please check out their channel as well. They're good
Yes.
friends of ours.
Yeah.
They also do adventures in the world of Asher.
Claire's going to put his hand on your shoulder and try and sense if he can feel that a magic event happened to you or not.
Cool.
That's all.
I don't know. It's a DM question.
Yeah.
So you're going to attempt to just detect magic.
Yeah. Well, no, he's just kind of trying to detect whether he's been like touched.
Like a Arcana
Yeah.
kind of thing? Arcana check?
Yeah, he's checking for magic, but not using detect magic because that would use a spell slot.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's
You know of that, yes.
No.
It's insight then in that case.
Okay.
Yeah. Your backstory does not require me to
Uh,
spam a spell slot.
Insight, right. 11.
Sounds doesn't sound necessarily as painful as some of your visions.
Mhm.
Other than that, it's
Did
hard
it
to be
did it
sure.
feel at all like what happened in the stream in the river?
Can I discern the difference?
Again, you can make an insight roll.
Probably already forgotten about it. 12.
There's a difference.
The two are definitely different, but I do not really know how.
I have to be honest. Nollis.
No, I'm not.
I have to be honest. I would quite like to get off this cliff.
I know, we will get off the cliff. But I just won't be my normal happy self until we figure this out.
Okay. So you're continuing up, climbing kits redonned,
Mhm.
and heading to the top.
We're climbing now. No more clouds.
It's closer to the top than it was to the bottom when you were by the.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's a relief.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Probably a fifth of the mountain remaining, or something like that.
Easy.
Jesus.
I don't wish to moan, but I'm not enjoying this at all.
How's your chafing?
Just thought I'd put that out there. Are we nearly at the top yet?
Did you not line your harness with hyena skin?
Yeah,
It stops the bottom
but
rub.
it's already been cured. It's the hard part.
I see.
Hey guys, if it comes to it and you have to,
Drop you? Sorry, I didn't mean to finish.
I was thinking the same thing.
and you have to make a choice, put yourselves before me,
Don't you worry.
and please put Garrus before me.
Okay. If your friend has not been eaten, we will put her life before yours. Do not
So
worry.
us, Garrus, you. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the hierarchy.
Like if you can, if I'm not saying
No, you're fine. You will go down a hero. This is the first honourable decision I think you have made, Jingo.
That's stabbing that guy in the back.
Yeah. Nothing rash though, Jingo. If you see your love, just don't run in.
Yeah, they don't like
Nothing
that.
rash.
I could tell you a
No.
thing or two of the ladyfolk, and they do not like the brash running in, saving them. The whole white horse thing is very. That was so last year's Asher. It's not.
As
We
irritating-
have years here. I'm not sure.
This whole conversation is taking place
With thousands of people.
As irritating as you can be, Jingo, we would like to see you survive this.
thank you. I don't deserve to.
Grabs him by the ankle and throws him over his shoulder.
So you're all climbing it. Sorry, Faria.
That's right. I was just gonna up the turtle man in our hierarchy of people.
Us.
He was very helpful.
Jingo.
More helpful, some would say, than some of the members of our party. If you had to rank us in order of survival, Jingo, who would be top of the list?
We got time to kill. I mean, it's
Oh
a
yeah,
fun game.
just general chit chat while we're going up the
I can't
mountain.
thank you all enough.
Yeah, but with one specifically, would you thank the most and would be top of the list?
If you had to marry one of us, murder one of us, and kiss one of us, Jingo, what order would you do that in?
Well, we already know who the kiss is. That happened off camera, you guys didn't see it. Wow.
You keep climbing.
Climbing. Focus on the climbing.
A few hundred feet. Your arms are so tired now. It's exhausting. You're sweating. You're hot. It's actually getting hotter again as you get to the top.
That doesn't make a
It's-
huge amount of
It's so whereas you had the cold air as you were climbing, that still exists, but there's almost an eminence of heat that's kind of permeating from the mountain itself.
Actually, a volcano.
It's very very hot.
Throw him in, Mr. Frodo.
As you get to the top of it, you're just feeling this temperature increase again, which is obviously surprising.
Mount Doom.
After a short while, probably another good period of time longer, you climb further and further, and eventually, actually, you keep going down, tethering off, climbing back up, over and over again, just at the point where probably the first one of you, whoever's climbing first, can see over the lip.
Not me.
I can't believe you said kill Xolen.
What?
It's so insensitive.
Of all the people.
Jingo.
That's the easiest kill.
Maybe that is why he chose him. I thought you guys would get married. That they would be the married.
I assume we just see crawl over the top. There we go.
Green, vivid green ground. There's water within these pools that are forming on the floor. It's lots of small, almost like rock pools, but rather than rock, there's like a green algae that coats on an outer plant-like mold or residue around the edges of these pools, and then they're kind of all full of this still sort of standing water that's there. In standing prominently, and this kind of spans quite flat for, you're talking in the region of 150 feet, something like that, and it looks like it drops off again the other side. And it's almost a circle, it's kind of a circular top. There's some imperfections in it, but this particular summit flattens off. There's other summits that are nearby that are more jagged. There are a couple of very interesting structures. There's these orangey structures, and from the top of a few of them, they're kind of trapezoid or pyramid really in the way that they're formed, but they round off in places like a cone. So it's this imperfect shape, and at the top of them, springing this natural water. I say natural water. Oh, this water springing from the top of them, a geyser of sorts.
Hello, geezer.
And there's a couple of these. There's about 4 or 5 of these. Only one of them at the moment in the middle is spraying this hot liquid. You can tell how hot it is. There's steam that's emanating from it into the air. You also get this just kind of blast of temperature as you come over the cusp of the precipice, and just it's very, very hot and warm up here, but not as humid as the cloud was. You've still got this fresh air that's hitting you. So there's this warm, wet, green area with these pools, and then these 4 or 5 geysers.
I think either or,
Good
depending on
good
where you are in the
geezers.
world, yeah.
Oh, we're in
We're a
Asia.
bunch of
They
geezers.
say
Yeah.
geezers. Geezers. And yeah, around 5 of these geezers, only one of them sprouting the water.
Is there anybody around?
So at the moment it's just Nolus. The rest of you are all kind of climbing up.
Good. Can we all get up there?
Yeah.
That'd be grand.
So you're
Anytime
all-
soon.
So Nolus, are you kind of stepping onto it as these people are climbing?
Yeah.
Yes, you're just
You're
gonna
probably helping people up as they come.
Sure. So you're going to get up.
You probably actually, while he's up there, you probably have a good scout around to see if we're safe. I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Look
So
for
make
kind
a
of like
perception.
tracks and areas.
Make a perception roll.
I will. That's a nat 20 plus 4, 24. I can see all of you, Mountain.
You're the first one to see the barbarian horde waiting on the cliff edge.
You can make out. So the first thing you see is that a couple of these geezers seem to have been in some way affected. They look like they've been almost built upon. It looks like they've been constructed around. And a long one to the right hand side as you're looking. So right in the centre you've got this sprouting geyser, and then to the right hand side you've got this almost double geyser. It looks like 2 have kind of sort of formed around one another, and there's certainly this unnatural hollowing that has been done that forms a sort of doorway. On to the left hand side you see a similar thing, but rather than 2 that are conjoined, it's a single one. And again, you've got this hollowing out and this reasonably well constructed opening. There's no actual door to it. It's just an opening that looks like it's been rounded off at the top.
How far away are they?
They are
What's
from
with
your
doors?
location. You're talking about for about 60 or 70 feet.
Okay.
There's a few other things that stand out to you. There's in the centre, because you rolled so well. In the centre, you've got this geyser that's shooting up, this orangey browny structure. And there's clearly some metallic items that are there, large iron or steel or large blocks of metal, and there's also some what look like hooks of sorts, fully rounded off hooks that are embedded into the wall.
Oh, okay.
So a bit like anchor points you were climbing on, similar type of
Meat
thing.
hooks.
Who knows, but something like that that's embedded into this
Halflings.
this central geyser. That's kind of everything you can make out at the moment.
Goodbye, friends.
We take this moment to just sort of enjoy the general flatness of the terrain and lie down and just I am anyway. I'm just going to lie back on the grass. I don't care if it's
Kissing the ground.
So you lie down and you kind of sink in all these pools. There's no flat ground. It's all these little, very, very shallow, like rock pools, but they're rounded out almost perfectly.
And they've got
They
water
look
in.
natural, and they've all got water in.
Be
And
careful of the water, Malcolm.
Yeah, the water is high temperature, but it's actually like a kind of warm bath. You know, it's not scalding.
I'll
Okay.
slide in.
The mountain man's spa.
Yes, I'm going to just find a Malkin-sized patch of knot pool and flop down just to get my breath back. I might even dangle my feet in the water. Take my boots off and dangle my feet just in the nice water.
Very soothing as you remove your boots.
Lovely. I like it.
Your arms are really, on fire, really, and so are your legs. Not used to climbing that distance.
Taking a few minutes out here.
Yeah, you can feel the lactic acid just built up in your arms. You're really, really aching. And the rest of you, as you come over the top there, for those of you that are worried about heights, you look back behind you and remember just how high you are. And there's this like bed of fluffy cloud 500 feet below you.
Come on over, guys. The water's lovely.
Is there another way down, Xolen, do you think?
That's the quick way.
I don't know. I was thinking about that when we was at the bottom of the cloud. And I was like, if we need to get out of here in a hurry.
Jump, be absorbed by the cloud.
I've
Might
got to
slow you
stop
down enough.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 1,000-foot drop.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, then we get Malcolm's rope that he left behind.
I can't see the sea from up here.
See the sea. You can make a perception roll.
Good idea.
What, beyond the
It's
cloud?
only a 9.
Your vision's mostly filled with this cloud. You can see that there is ground beneath and in the distance, but it's so far away it's all just blurred, to be honest with you. But you can't implicitly see the sea. Can you? After a moment or two,
Oh, great.
Jingo, shut up!
Throw him over the edge, somebody.
you see
It's a bird.
you see a lady emerge from behind one of these geysers, the central one that was sprouting the liquid, and she turns to the side. She's calling. It's less of a scream and more of an alert by the sounds of it. She's got shaved sides of her head, dark hair that's tied back into a almost braided ponytail. She's wearing furs over her shoulders. She's wearing brown leather jerkin, and she's carrying a hand axe.
Oh God.
She looks quite tough.
Claero pulls his hands away from his face and looks at his compatriots and just shakes his head, knowing they're gonna have to fight someone again.
How far away from me is she?
She is right behind this geyser, which is in the centre of this platform of sorts that you're on. She is really 100 feet. At this point, we're going to take a quick break.
Oh, quick break!
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
everyone.
We'll take you to a little art interlude
God,
by our fabulous
Love it,
Dragoonie
yeah.
fans.
Mm.
Please sit back and
Dragoonie
enjoy.
doodle.
We will be back in just 5 minutes.